Torah speaks about the most famous Jewish mitzvah, the most famous Jewish line there is, which is Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. It's a line which every Jew should know by heart. We say it biblically, you're meant to say it twice a day, in the morning and evening. But if you're smart, you can say it 10 or 20 times a day. Just knock it into your beans, that line. There's one and only God who's always taken care of us. And then there's a few verses which are pretty interesting, because it begins with something which makes sense, and then we just go off topic to certain mitzvahs. And I'll explain what I mean. We begin with V'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha. You shall love Hashem with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your desires. Okay, that makes sense after Shema Yisrael. There's one and only God. But then it says, you should learn with your children, talk about Torah while you walk in the street, put on the tefillin every day, on your arm and on your head, and put a mezuzah on your door. Why add those few mitzvahs in this first chapter of the Shema? I mean, there are many mitzvahs we have to do. We have the 613 of them. Why these few mitzvahs in the Parsha of the Shema? We know that the mezuzah on the doorpost is a security. We know Hashem is watching over us when we have that mezuzah. But it's not as it seems. Someone wants to break into your house, heaven forbid, and he sees the mezuzah on the door and he says, oh my gosh, there's someone watching, I'm not going to go there. I don't think that's the case. So what does it mean it's a protection? You see, Hashem wants us to put that verse, Shema Yisrael, into our mind, into our heart, to live with it. This should be our only message all day. The truth is, the Talmud teaches us that if you take all the Torah and mitzvahs, you can just boil it down into this one line. Everything is about believing in Hashem and following in His ways. Love Hashem with all your heart. Hashem says, how is the way? What's the way? You're going to always remember that. Says Hashem, I want you to talk to your children. Teach it to your kids. If it's important to you, you'll teach it to your kids. You'll walk in the street, you'll be saying the words of the Shema. And you know what? Strap it onto your arm every single day as you go into you. Put it onto your head. Knock it onto every doorpost of your house. And this way, wherever you go, you're just surrounded with that line, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. And you know what? If you're surrounded with that line and you make sure you live with it, you will be protected. Hashem protects you when you think about Hashem all day. And that is also why this week, we just had Tisha B'Av a couple of days ago. And this week is known as Shabbos Nachamu. The Shabbos are comforting. How is Hashem comforting us? Every year it's called Shabbos Nachamu. Now if Mashiach would have been here, then yes, we'd be comforted. But we're still in exile. Every week, right after Tisha B'Av, it's considered Shabbos Nachamu. The best way to be comforted in exile is living with Hashem. And that's why right after Tisha B'Av, we have this line. You know what? You want to be comforted in exile? Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Live with Hashem. There's nothing in the world other than Hashem. There's no other desires other than Hashem. Of course we like to do mitzvahs. We have our secular lifestyle, and around it we build the mitzvahs. Hashem says no. Build your secular lifestyle around the mitzvahs. Your life is Judaism. Your life is Hashem. And other than that, you fit in everything else you'd like to fit in your life. Hashem will protect us all the way if we live with that. Thank you and have a wonderful Shabbos. This week's Shabbos, traveling Chassidim are traveling to Fairlawn, New Jersey, the Shomer Torah community. And there will be another Shabbaton right here in the shtetl in Muncie, a group from Ezra Academy students. We're very much looking forward. Have a great Shabbos.